Hello, my name is Alexandra Moreno, and welcome to a psychology Christmas lesson. Now, Christmas is still 10 days away, but I have a stocking full of all the lessons I learned this semester. So let's open up a gift early. Oh wow, this is about the topic of problems in our courtroom, and more importantly, eyewitness testimonies. Well, you see, if you ended up in the courtroom, it's probably because you were on the naughty list. But sometimes jurors and judges convict innocent people. How? I mean, it's fairly easy. All you gotta do as the prosecutor is get an eyewitness to testify. And you know, our jurors love an eyewitness. I mean, we want to believe people are telling the truth. But 3 out of 4 times, cases like those get overturned. And I'm here to be the Grinch to say that those studies that show that eyewitness testimony isn't something that should be permissible is true, because there's such thing as coercion. Whereas simplified is when someone talks someone into saying or doing something and people's testimonies are included. A person can also hear new information or have a strong emotion that alters their memory. This brings up the Misinformation Act, meaning you're incorporating misinformation into your memory of an event. And once that gets started, you can then fall into the retelling effect, which is when a person gets their bits of stories mixed up or maybe altered in a way, but that becomes their new truth, and they retell it enough that they gain that confidence that on the stand it looks like they're telling the truth. And confidence is something that our jurors takes as that person being believable. An example of this is the story of Lyndell Grant, who was tried and convicted back in 2012 for the murder of Aaron Sherhorn, who was stabbed outside a Texas club. Now, Lyndell Grant was innocent, but that wasn't the case for 6 different people who eyewitnessed him as the guilty party. I mean, thankfully, DNA evidence allowed this man to be freed on May 19th of 2021. But there went the rest of his years of his life because of false eyewitness testimony. Now, how can we prevent that? Well, we can prevent it in the gift of better police interviewing. We can have cognitive interviewing procedure and allow eyewitnesses to state unprompted recollections of said events. They can also help by visualizing the scene, or we can give them picture evidence of the scene, but as closely matched to the day of the event or time. We can also give the gift of administering lineups differently. See, we need to make sure that in the lineup, all those there have the same distinguishing features, not just height and ethnicity, but also eye shape, nose shape, if they have a mole, if they don't have a mole. We can also reassure the eyewitness who's behind that glass screen that it's okay if they don't see the person that they think they saw that night, and that sometimes they could not be in that said lineup. There also needs to be mutual faces, those in the lineup and the interviewee who's alongside the eyewitness. We don't want to give them any impression that we know who they should pick. Now, this is just the tip of the tree on all the things that have to do with eyewitness testimony or false eyewitness testimony. Now, we need to better understand, and more research can be done in how to help those who were wrongly convicted. But all we can do now is take what I've said and take what you've learned today and wrap it up in a bow present and give it to another person. Merry Christmas.